Is the reason I can't find any grass seed because all the crows ate it all? Could crows be the guineas of longhorn Leicesters? Look, they're all in them trees. There's crows sitting in the trees, and they're cawking at me. Calling. They're calling at me. They're not cawking at me, they're calling at me. The crows are calling at me. Caw, caw, caw. Calling. C-A-W, guys. Get your heads out of the gutter. Hey folks, Lester here. It's cold, windy, and wet. I feel like I live in the Midwest all of a sudden, and this has like been, I don't know, 3 or 4 days in a row. There's no sun to brighten things up and to warm us up, so it's just another miserable, kind of nasty day. But hey, nonetheless, I'm gonna get out and we're gonna go do a couple of jobs this morning. I do have plenty of help here, so I'm blessed for that. And we're going to talk about the goats, guys. We've not talked much about the goats in a while. All focus has been over on Carl and the ladies and the kids and how big everybody's gotten. But we've not done much with the goats. So today, if you want to join me, I'm going to walk over to the goat pasture. I want you to see Mr. Huck. I want you to see this boy and how healthy he's gotten. So everybody join me in. Y'all come join me and Trixie, and let's go have some fun. Y'all ready? All right, come on. It's not about you. It's not about you today. Nobody care? Well, we do care, Carl. We care, but it's not about... Carl, don't have your feelings hurt. We're walking past you over to our goat pasture. Oh, my goodness. Look at these babies. So I've closed the gate this morning so as Carl can't come over and harass us. Guys, would y'all settle down? I don't think I would want to be over there if I was y'all. I don't think that's the best place to play. Look at everybody. Now, look how cold the goats look. Look how cold the goats are freezing. Sissy, are you such a cold... Oh, no, you didn't, Sissy. Sissy! Okay, well, it's not about Sissy anyway. I don't know where that came from, Sissy, but that's hurtful. Really, it's about Mr. Huck, our leader. Our leader, Mr. Huck. Come over here, Mr. Huck. We're going to sit in the hay where it's a little bit warmer. Come here, Mr. Huck. Come on, Mr. Huck, buddy. Oh, boy. So I've plopped down here in the hay. I should have sat on the other side of the wind. That would have been a little bit smarter. Mr. Huck, come over here. Why does everyone treat me like the enemy? Oh, I bet I know why. It's my hat. It's because of the cap that I'm wearing, this fur cap. They're afraid I'm... I know what they're afraid of, that I'm going to need another cap pretty soon. And they're afraid I'm going to resort to goat fur. I'm not doing that. I've come to love and show everyone how healthy you guys are. Now, I'm going to remind you again, I've made a couple of videos talking about this, but as you look around and you see all of these babies and all the little rolls of fat and how healthy everyone looks, guys, remember that I have not given not a bite of grains. Not a bite. These goats here have not had a bite of grains. And I love the fact that they're able to find all that they need here at Longhorn Leicester's and stay this healthy, which is a healthy. It's a healthy fat, unlike the goats over at I'm a Survivor, who's may look. Leave Carl alone. I don't think Carl wants to be taunted by a couple of mutt dogs. I'm kidding. They're not mutt dogs, but they're in a really bad place. Carl could come right through that gate. Those gates are the weak spots. Y'all know gates are the weak spots of every fence. Your gate is your weak spot. And the worst place to play is around a gate. He could pop that gate open, just pop the latch by putting a little force into it. In saying so, let me show y'all something kind of scary. Now I got to get myself back up off the hay. Okay, I want to show y'all something that you probably don't know about. I've never talked about it because I'm so embarrassed. But look at this. That right there is what happens when Carl comes at the gate. And so I'm so blessed that the latch held. because I was over on that side doing a couple of jobs. Carl was in here not feeling very happy that I'm so close to the pasture, and he come running and he hit it right here, and dink, dink, he completely bent my gate. Not bad, not like Tex would have done, but I'm just gonna say that no matter how many times he's hitting the fence, we're fine. But the gate is always the weak spot. Anyway, back to the goats. Today, I'm going to give them their first taste of grains. I know they're excited about that, aren't you? Oh, I'm going to put some grains out. Now, the grains are not so that they can get lazy. The grains are not so they'll start laying around and not eating. But what I am going to say is this. As I can walk along down through this pasture, our winter grass has not got a really good grab here yet. There's a couple of things popping up here and there. But this pasture does not have the winter grass. It hasn't really popped up, and I don't know why. As a matter of fact, I don't even see any seeds. And I come down here with the tractor. I made a couple of passes and put winter grass all over all three of these pastures. That was about 2 weeks ago. And as of today, I don't see any grass at all. Oh, great. Carl, I'm not messing with you. So, in saying so, I'm afraid that the winter grass is not going to grow here. Beverly, I'm not feeding right now. Have you guys ever heard of what they call a red oak? A red oak is the reason I'm afraid our winter grass is... Carl, I'm talking about red oaks. I don't know what a red oak actually looks like. But my neighbor, Kenny, he's the guy that lives over there. Past behind the barn in that back pasture, in the backwoods behind Pat and Dave. He told me that grass will not grow under or anywhere near the red oak. Live oaks, yes, but a red oak, no. And so I don't know exactly out here what are red oaks. I really don't know. Maybe you guys do, and you may know more about it. But if in fact any of these over here are red oaks, then that might be why there's not much grass growing around this spot. Because why would grass not be growing here? Really, look, this is great soil, yet it has not grown grass since I've been here. Now look, this here is winter grass. That there's winter grass, so I don't know if this is a red oak, but the grass seed has come up here. All of this was bare and had nothing growing on it because of the drought. And I come by here and put the seed out, and all of that is winter grass. Do y'all ever get tired of hearing about grass? You know, in the 4 years that I've been working on videos, I can't say that I've ever talked so much about grass. I mean, grass is something that we've taken for granted. It's just, they eat grass, you know, you don't talk about it. We just know they eat grass until we lose all of our grass. And you can watch other channels and there's no grass, guys. I feel so bad for those animals because there's no grass. And then you watch these guys take a bucket and walk out with that much cubes, and his animals are freaking going crazy. And he thinks it's a game. They love this game. No, they're starving. Your animals are starving. And cubes are not packed with nutrition. Anyway, don't get me on my rant. But we're so blessed. Let me turn the camera back around. So blessed that we have gotten our grass seed out. Our winter grass seed has all been spread. And we have enough. We've gotten enough rain to let it germinate and come up. And now we feel like our babies are doing wonderful. Now listen, they still come running. They do. They'll still come running when I come out with the grains, but they're not trying to run me over because they're starving. And do y'all hear all the crows flying around? And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. Is the reason I can't find any grass seed because all the crows ate it all? Could crows be the guineas of longhorn Leicesters? Look, they're all in them trees. There's crows sitting in the trees, and they're cawking at me. They're calling at me. They're not cawking at me, they're calling at me. The the crows are calling at me. Caw, caw, caw. Calling. C-A-W, guys. Get your heads out of the gutter. The gutter. Get your head out of the gutters. Okay, I gotta get a grip, man. This video is going nowhere. So all of these babies are coming to see what's going on. They don't know if I've brought in grapes, if I come with tomatoes, or if I just come for love. And all they want to do is peck my fingers. My fingers are too cold to be pecked right now, so we're not gonna play that game. I'm gonna go ahead and do a feed up. Okay, there goes one. That hurts. That hurts, okay? Come on, babies. Sorry about the bumpy ride. That reminded me of one of my dad's videos where he gets on his four-wheeler or his side-by-side and just drives, and y'all better just hold on. He doesn't stop videoing for anything. And I'm like, Lester, you're making a pawpaw video. You're making a pawpaw video, careful. So yeah, guys, your cows come to eat because they are hungry. You know, they do get used to having their one big meal a day, and they love their grains, but they should not surround your feed room and keep you hostage, and you just laugh because what a fun game that is. That's not a fun game. That's because your animals are starving. They're literally starving. And then I'm going to count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 large animals here. That would be 4 cows, a horse, and the donkey. Don't let the donkey know she's a donkey. The birds get fed separate. But you go through an entire bag of grains a day. An entire bag. All right, you look at the weight of the animals, you look at the breed of the animals, and you know that that's what it takes. When there's not much grass, guys, there's not much grass, then they need an entire bag. And that's not even really enough when that's all they get. But you do what you do. If you make money off of your farm and off of your animals, where's my box cutter? Then you have to take care of those that take care of you. I'm gonna say that again. You must take care of those that take care of you. And so even though everyone, baby, would you stop doing that? Everyone expects a morning breakfast. They're ready for their meal. They're not sitting here running me over because they're starving. They're doing that because it's annoying to me. Baby, I'm got to open it up and start pouring feed out right now. Guys, give me a couple of seconds here. All right, so as always, we put our feed in circles. The birds will mess around with it, but they know they're gonna get their own feeds a little bit later. Their own special blend. And then, I hate to rag on any particular farm channel, but I've always been an advocate for animals and for animals' rights and the lack. You know, people sometimes are just ignorant. I'm not saying that in a mean way, guys, but a lot of people are just ignorant. They just don't know because they've never been taught. And so I would say a lot of people, I'm going to use that quote that Rick taught me. You don't know what you don't know. And so listen and read and do your research. The same way that I've learned so much along the 4 years of having you guys help and teach me, someone needs to teach these guys that cubes is a poor man's feed. Cubes is nothing more than hay, dried grasses, dried whatever, processed into a cube form. It's not nutrition. It's just enough to keep your animals alive. Look at this. Miss Pat comes by to say hi, and my attack dogs go right at her. Yeah, she's lucky that she has treats. Boy, they drag her across this pasture. Those are some attack dogs, aren't they? These guys always remind me of how men eat. You go to a restaurant and you look around, and you look at the couples or the families, and you look at the dad or the man, and look at the women. This is every man at a restaurant, most men at restaurants. And we have no ladies here. We have no little ladies here, y'all. When it comes to eating, these are all men. All men. Guys, settle down. You're on camera. People are gonna see y'all and think that you're hungry. Oh, my poor mistreated big birds. They're not hungry. Okay, you know what? They're always hungry. They're always hungry. They have endless bellies. She goes, really? Can you get that camera out of my face? Come on, Carl, I got food over here. I got really good food. Lots of mealworms. All the alfalfa pellets. All that you need to have a good... Okay, you're gonna spill all of your food, Carl. You're gonna spill all of your food. Stop doing that. I feel so blessed to know that we're already at the 17th of November. Today's the 17th of November. And I'm giving our goats their first, I'd say 1/3 bucket. 1/3 of a bucket. Baby, I see you, of grains. Now I'm gonna say again, you're saying, Lester, your goats are plenty fat. Don't do it. You're gonna get them spoiled. I'm not gonna give them enough to fill their bellies. I'm gonna give them enough to supplement what they're not able to find this time of year out in the woods when they're foraging. So, you know that goats get 30% of their diet from grass, from things they can graze on. Goats also get about 50 to 60% of their diet from things they forage on. But there's also that 10, 20% that they're not getting. And I forgot what the vet called that. But that's when you can supplement that with the goat grains. Come on, get back. Look, there's a little bit for somebody. We're gonna make a lot of piles. Move out of my way. You're gonna make me fall. You're going to make Daddy fall. There's a little bit. Mr. Huck, get your head out of my bucket. There's a little bit. Stop fighting. There's a little bit. Here's a little bit. Here's a little bit. Hey, did y'all notice something? As I walked along pouring out grains, the goats were not stopping to hoard the pile on the ground. Instead, most goats kept following me along. You know what that's a sign of? They're not starving, they're not hungry. It's more of a game. Let's follow along. Let's just find what's in the bottom of the bucket. Let's just keep, this is fun. Pour it on my head, pour it on my head. And so if they were hungry, when I poured that first pile, they would have all swarmed to it and begin to fight over that. They would not have all kept following me along as I poured more and more mounds onto the ground. So you have to read your animals, guys. Read your animals, and they'll let you know how they're feeling. They'll let you know their needs, but you have to be aware, and you have to sometimes educate yourself. And if you don't know what you don't know, then listen and let those that do know teach you. There's no shame in that. Now look at this. I threw over some green hay, and even though Sissy still prefers the grains, everyone else is saying, you know what? I'll take that green hay. Hey, you watch it. Because in fact, my friends, green hay is more nutritious and gives them more of what they need than any grains you can possibly feed them. Look at that. And that makes you feel good to know that they're completely content with having a flake of green hay here and there, which is alfalfa. That's good. And those are certainly a lot more healthy. All right, my friends, that was that's the end of our video. I want to thank y'all for watching, putting up with me, teaching me along the way. And even as I go throughout my day, I make mistakes and I learn and I get better. And that gives these guys their best lives. And that's what it's all about. At this point, time to get up off your couches, your love seats, your rocking chairs. We're ready to dance. It's time to dance. Come on, y'all, join me.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.